Once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another case. Can't call it a sighting. Domestic violence. Judge Bandoh. I hope I'm saying the name right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes speech impediment, sometimes just can't pronounce the name. This career criminal, just a career criminal, not a very long case, but I got to do this case. I have to. This fool goes into a woman's freezer and takes the ice tray. She said, "Hey, man, that's not your ice tray. What are you doing?" "Hey, I'm taking ice." As a matter of fact, I don't even know that many people with ice tray. I mean, but hey, it is what it is. A lot of refrigerators got automatic ice makers. You know what? Hit the button. Some people probably still put in ice tray. You know what I'm saying? So different set of circumstances, different classes of life. You know, life is classisms now. So anyway, so he goes in the freezer, and guess what he do? He takes ice tray and throw it at the woman. Now think about it, this is a block of ice now, right? She calls the police. Idiot waits till the police get there. It's not like the police are Flash Gordon and they get there instantly. Police comes, he tried to run. Why the hell did you stick around in the first place? Why the hell did you hit her with the ice? Police threatened, pull out that taser on him, and he dropped to the ground. I submit. I submitteth. you know. But nevertheless, this fool, let's dive into the content. That's enough of me rambling. You hit somebody with an ice tray. Ice tray. Now, I'm going to just say this. I know some people are like, oh, don't upload cases where there's no ending. Every case is not going to have an ending. Matter of fact, this is not even a long case, but I still want to, showcase the boldness of the boldness of people. Let me just put it like that. But let's dive into the case.
All right, so he's here. Mr. Durden is here. This is the state of Georgia versus Stephen Durden. Warrant number is 2024 WA 04973 04974. All parties are present and have announced ready to proceed. All right, Ms. Payne, you can call your first witness.
Sorry, the state would call Officer J. Brown to the stand. Can you raise your right hand, sir?
Is my camera on?
It's not.
Okay, let me see.
Now we can see you, sir. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay. And can you state your name, please, sir?
Officer J. Brown with the Forest Park Police Department.
How long have you worked there, sir?
I've been with the Forest Park Police Department for about 6 months now.
And did you work there on July 8th of 2024?
Yes.
Did you receive a call from dispatch that day?
Yes.
Did you respond to 563 Moore Avenue in Forest Park, Georgia?
Yes.
Is that in Clayton County, sir?
Yes, it is in Clayton County.
Okay. And who did you make contact with when you got there, sir?
I first made contact with Mr. Durden when he fled on foot behind some houses at 563 Moore.
And who else did you make contact with when you got on scene? Did you make contact
Can you say that again?
Did you also make contact with Tamiko Bennett?
Yes.
And what did she tell you happened that day?
Ms. Bennett stated that she was inside the residence at the time, as well as Mr. Durden, as well as his wife and her husband. And once he had went inside the kitchen to grab an ice tray out of the freezer, she then told him that that was not his ice tray, and he got upset, and that she told him to put the ice tray back as it did not belong to him. And he stated that the ice tray, he was not sure about that, and he then got angry and threw the ice tray at her, but it did not strike her.
Okay. And were you able to locate Mr. Durden that night on scene?
Yes.
Where did you locate him at, sir?
Mr. Durden was located running behind, I'm not sure what address that was, but it was behind 563 Moore Ave, and he was seen hopping over a fence, still running. That is when I drew my taser and pointed at him and stated my presence as police. And then I told him to get down on the ground, get down to his knees, and which he did do so.
You said what you did or didn't do?
He did do.
You did do, okay. When you first saw him, did you give him commands to stop running?
Yes.
Before you pulled your taser out, did he stop running?
No, he did not stop running before I pulled my taser out.
And do you see the person who threw the ice tray at Miss Bennett and fled from you on the Zoom platform today?
Let me see. Yes. Is that yes, deputies?
Okay. Thank you, sir. No further questions.
All right, cross-examination.
Good morning, officer.
Morning.
How big was this ice tray?
It's just a standard size ice tray. I'm not sure what
Okay.
color it was.
Okay, about 12 inches long then?
Yes.
Is it plastic?
Yes.
Okay, was it broken?
The ice tray was not broken.
Okay. Was and you didn't observe any injuries?
There was no injuries to Miss Bennett.
Okay. All right, thank you, officer. I don't have any further questions.
All right, any redirect?
Just one, officer, did when you spoke with Miss Bennett, did she say that when the defendant threw the ice tray at her that she thought that he was trying to hit her and get an injury from it?
Can you say that again?
When you were speaking with Miss Bennett, did she call because she was to your knowledge, did she call because she was afraid of what was going to happen with him throwing the ice tray at her?
Miss Bennett was not the initial caller, it was her husband. And he stated that he called in her need because he thought that it was wrong that that Mr. Durden threw the ice tray at his wife, Miss Bennett.
All right, thank you, sir. No further questions.
All right, any recross based on that question?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any additional evidence, Ms. Payne?
No, Your Honor, the state would rest.
All right, any evidence on behalf of the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
All right, argument?
The state would just waive its right to opening and reserve the right to close.
Your Honor, just as to the simple assault, the defense would argue for dismissal. The statute requires the alleged victim to have an apprehension of a violent injury. Here, the officer testified it was a plastic, small, standard ice tray. It wasn't broken. There was nothing violent, or there wasn't any violent injuries or the threat of any violent injury that was testified to, nor does the report anywhere mention the alleged victim, Miss Bennett, being feeling that she was being threatened and was going to sustain a violent injury. And the statute requires that this apprehension or any apprehension be reasonable. And certainly under the testimony and the report, that it would be completely unreasonable for someone to be fearing violent injury from a small plastic ice tray being thrown, even if it was thrown at him. We don't really know for sure if that's even the case. Thank you.
May I go, Your Honor?
Yes,
Your Honor, the state would contend that at least for probable cause standards, the state has met the burden of showing that the defendant did do a simple assault and obstruction of an officer. In regards to the officer testified that he made contact with Miss Bennett, who stated that when she went in the kitchen to say, "Hey, that's not your ice tray," the defendant got mad and out of anger threw that ice tray at her. Although it did not hit her, the officer testified, yes, that is a standard ice tray, but the statute requires that it's just an objective, reasonable apprehension of a violent injury, and there's, based on probable cause standard, an ice tray can, if it's thrown at you, cause lacerations, cuts, and even if it hits you in the eye, cause significant injury to your eye. And that it does not require, as the defense said, that there's no evidence that she was in apprehension of it. Doesn't require a subjective apprehension, just requires a reasonable apprehension standard. And I think it's reasonable to assume that if someone is going to throw an ice tray at you, that you can get an injury from it. And then the officer testified that while he was trying to investigate and take the defendant under a lawful arrest, the defendant ran away from him after refusing to obey multiple commands to stop. And so the state would ask that you just bind it up to state court for further prosecution.
All right, based on the testimony presented today, the court does find sufficient probable cause, and these charges will be bound over to state court. This matter is adjourned. All right, next.
Ain't doing nothing anyway. All right, thank you for all who tuned into this video. Like I told you again, not a very long case, but I just want to upload this case because some people just don't think, man. You the big bad wolf. You're going to go in someone's freezer. You're going to hit them with a block of ice, basically, ice tray, block of ice, however you look at it. And then you turn around and wait for the cops to get there. You know why? Because you had no place else to go. Now, guess what you do? You commit these crimes being a hobosexual. You know what that means? That's a homeless dude living off of their woman. Because she probably the one on Section 8, or she the one with the part and your name ain't on it. And then you go commit a crime, and guess what the judge do? They tell you you can't be there. And guess what? You can't be there. So now, because that's the only reason why you was there, and now, because you're a hobosexual, you don't have no place else to go once you get out of jail. She not going to let you come back because you're an abuser. The judge not going to let you come back because that's where the offense happened. You got to think. You got to be a strategic thinker when you're a criminal. I do enough of these cases that the first thing the judge say, you can't go back around such and such, especially Judge Board. She's definitely one to say such a thing. You got to think before you react. You got to think. There are too many people that's too emotional. And I got some videos coming out soon. That's going to be really, 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 good videos. But nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe. We're going to keep pumping out these videos, people. They're going to keep pumping out. So if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on? If you hadn't support the channel through Cash App or Super Chat, what are you waiting on? We need your help. It takes a lot of time, resources. We have to go, and I'm not being no guilt trip, but we have to go and we have to look through things, make sure things look good. But nonetheless, we will see you in